Hi, I'm Jessie Hadfield. I work for Utah 4-H as the Agriculture and Animal Science Specialist, which means I get to do a lot of things with livestock, but my favorite thing is working with rabbits. This is my rabbit Zoe. She's here helping me with this demonstration today. We're going to discuss clipping nails and the importance of trimming your rabbit's nails, and we're going to go over 2 different techniques to make sure that you get this done safely and effectively. So I'm going to talk about some of the equipment that I have here today. The first thing you'll notice is I have this carpet square. This is just so that Zoe has somewhere to sit when she's on the table. We're actually going to move and I'm going to hold her in my lap to get her nails done, but want to make sure that we have all of our equipment together first. So I have an old towel, which will be really important for one of the methods for clipping their nails. I have some water, my phone, which has a flashlight on the back, and I'll discuss why that might be important. And I have 2 different types of nail clippers here. This is just a scissor type. Obviously, as you can tell, just works just like scissors. It's very sharp, so definitely a good way to clip nails. This is another version of scissors, and you can see this one actually has a little guard on it to make sure that we don't cut too close to the quick, which is the blood supply in the nail. So 2 different types of scissors, and one with a guard on it. This one's a little bit larger because it's actually meant for dogs, but I still think it's really useful. It's easy to handle. These are 2 different types of scissor nail clippers, but there's also one called a guillotine. And if you're familiar with like what a guillotine is, essentially what it is you stick the nail through a little oval, and when you clip, then the blade comes down. So all of these are acceptable. We're going to be using these 2 different types of scissor clippers today. I'm going to show you the first method for trimming your rabbit's nails, and this is where I'm just going to lay Zoe on her back. Now, it's really important that your rabbit is comfortable doing this, and not every rabbit likes it. Zoe actually really prefers to be on her back to have her nails trimmed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that I'm holding her scruff and her ears to lay her over. I'm going to let her just sit gently into my legs. I like to have my legs up just a little bit so that I have good control of her, and then I'm just going to let her kind of relax here in my lap. Okay, Zoe's here. She's nice and relaxed and comfortable in my lap. So when I'm getting ready to clip her front toenails, I want to make sure that I can find all 4 of her front nails plus her dew claw. So she's got 4 nails on the back and 5 on the front, including that dew claw. So since Zoe is dark, what you may want to do is just use your water bottle and just dampen that down. I'm not going to do it today, but just as an example, you can dampen down this fur so that it's easier to see. Another thing you can do is you can use your phone with a flashlight, and this makes it really easy to see where that quick is. Now that quick, remember, is that blood vessel. It's the blood supply to the nail, and we want to make sure that we don't clip that. There's a couple ways that you can identify the quick. The first is, like I mentioned, using a light. It's just going to be the darker part in the nail. If you have a rabbit with white nails, it's really easy to see. So if you're not comfortable clipping nails and you have someone that can help you walk through this process, starting on a rabbit with white nails is definitely the easiest. So you can find that quick just by looking for that blood vessel. The other thing you can do is, as we start trimming the nails down, we're just going to take just a little bit off every time. Now you get to a point where you can see just a tiny little black dot in the nail, and that is the quick. You want to stop at that point. So as we're clipping her nails, make sure that she's nice and relaxed. So we're going to trim just a tiny little bit off every time, because we want to make sure that we don't trim too much and make her bleed. Now the more you trim your nails, the blood supply is going to recede, and so it's going to make it easier and easier. So Zoe's nails are actually pretty long, but the more we trim them, the shorter they will get. Get her little dew claw, and then we'll just get rid of all these little pieces here. You can do that with both front legs. I'll do her other front leg here in a little bit, and then we can do her back leg here. Remember, we're going to take just a little bit off, so that we don't accidentally make her bleed. So always err on the side of less versus more. And then once they're done, especially, it's really important that when you have them on your back, that once they're done, that you just let them be done. And now I'll show you the second method. I'm going to show you the second method for trimming nails. And this is the method that I would recommend if you are a young youth exhibitor, if you're not confident, or if your rabbit moves around a lot. And that is just to use an old towel. So I just have this towel here. It's actually just a full-size towel that we've cut in half, which gives me plenty of room for a small rabbit like Zoe's. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cover her up. There's really no rhyme or reason. We're just going to snug her up really nice and tight. And then we're going to cradle her in our arms. Now that you can also do this sitting down, but this is how I like to do it. So now that she's all wrapped up, this is just going to keep her from kicking and from moving around too much. Now that I've got her wrapped up tight, I can just gently pull out the leg that I need to trim her nails on. Zoe's a lot more relaxed when she's on her back, so this can be a little bit difficult. And then this is where you really either need to have a helper or maybe someone to help you pull this hair back, since you are going to be short a hand now. And so you can dampen down that hair. Remember, we're just going to take a tiny little bit off her nail, and we're just going to keep trimming until we get to that point where we can see where that quick is. Until all of her nails are done. You can also clip her nails on the table. So we're going to do the exact same thing. This time I'm actually going to cover up her face. Since I'm going to be doing her back nails, I'm going to tuck her up underneath. And I'm just going to pull her little nail out here. I don't know if you can see that very well. This way I can use both hands and I can just pull her little nail out. And again, we just want to make sure we're being really careful and only taking off just a tiny little bit. There we go. You can do that with all four. We can do it on the other side too. If your rabbit is comfortable being on their back, I definitely recommend that. It's a little bit easier to see your nails and make sure that you're trimming them to the right and appropriate length. But this definitely works too. Good job, Zoes.